What's up everybody, Jay Leone back here again today with another video review for you. I got one that I'm just quite excited about. This is the Digiflavor Siren GTA MTL tank basically. It's a rebuildable tank is what it is. It's designed for mouth-to-lung vapors like me and a handful of you others that are out there that enjoy mouth-to-lung vaping. You can use it in direct lung. Let's clear that up. You can. It is marketed for mouth to lung, but if you don't use the restrictor piece, which I'll show you in the close-ups, you can definitely direct lung it. But if you're looking for a mouth to lung tank, this video is for you. I'll explain how I've been enjoying it as we go through this video. So I'll give you a quick specs and where I got it from, how much it's going to cost you, all that good stuff. I did get this from esiggity.com. I'm going to pull up some specs here on my computer really quick. I paid, I think, 26 bucks. They had a sale. I think it's back up to $29.99 right now. You can shop around though and see who's got the better price. It does come in 22mm or 25. I'm reviewing the 22mm version. It is a Jenny styled, except the Genesis, it usually has a top deck on it. This deck is kind of right smack dab in the middle, which makes it even more fantastic. 4 mil capacity on the 22mm and a 5 mil capacity on the 25mm. Top fill, Pyrex glass tank, mouth-to-lung style, single coil deck. It's got a peak insulator, 2.5mm airflow hole. There's a 3mm airflow hole, 3.5mm airflow hole, and a 4mm airflow hole. I'll show you all those adjustment holes as we get closer. And it's got a gold-plated 510. It's got a couple goodies that's included with it also, which I'll show you in the up-close portion, which we'll get to right now. We're going to put a build in and I'm going to show you how it works and everything, and then we'll come back up and wrap this one up. Alright, here we are up close and personal with the Digiflavor Siren tank. This is the 22mm version. There's a 25mm version also, and it does come in stainless steel and black. GTA down here stands for Genesis Tank Atomizer. Nice packaging here. Some warnings, Facebook, contents in the package here in the back. Authenticity, scratch and check right here. When you do open the box up here, you will see your siren tank, spare drip tip, spare glass. Underneath that, you'll have a little bit of some goodies. You'll have a nice little multi-tool here, which is nice. Spare O-rings, spare screws, all the good stuff you're gonna need, and that's pretty much all that you're gonna get in the package here. Here's the spare drip tip that is included. It's got a smaller bore here on the top, so if you do like a smaller diameter, it's a little bit smaller, and I believe it's a bit shorter too, a bit shorter than the other one. Personally, I enjoy the drip tip with the white Delrin that's on here, this Delrin insert on top. The other one I think is all Delrin. Alright, so here's the tank. It does say Digiflavor there on the chamber area there inside the tank. You do have adjustable airflow here on the bottom. You can see your adjustments. You have a couple different holes you could choose from. It does click into place. It's very easy to spin though, and it does stop when you get this way. And if you want to go the other way, you can go past and close it off completely, but you can't go any farther than that. The ring stops there. You do have 510 threads there. Your 510 pin. The pin protrudes just slightly. You do have some markings here at the bottom. Serial number, it says Siren. And yeah, that's where your 510 drip tip will go. Any 510 drip tip will be compatible. Let's take her apart. You got a knurled section up here. You got these cuts out, so it makes it easy to take off the top cap. So that comes off. You got this little piece here. It's a little wet. I just cleaned it out. And you got your two fill holes here. So when you're filling, it's very easy. Holes are big enough for any type of bottle to get in there. When the bottom does unscrew also, you just keep turning. Threads are a little squeaky, and you'll see that that's separating from the center chimney there, or center chamber. And have your build deck. We'll take that aside. Glass does pop off. There is a little O-ring inside of here, and there's another corresponding O-ring inside of here. You do got some spares in case you do lose those. Here's your chimney section. You do have threads in there, which thread into your build section. Like I said, it does say Digiflavor right there. And then your build deck is what you're probably going to be more interested in. And I do have a coil in there that I'm going to yank out. I'm going to put a new one in on camera here. You got 2 posts, and I got my reducer in there, and I'll show you that here in a second. Let me take that coil out real quick so I can show you the deck a little bit better. Alright, so I removed my coil from there. You can see that little reducer that's in there. This thing basically reduces the airflow for a mouth to lung vape, which, by the way, it works flawlessly. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt to get in there. I'll attempt to take it out. I did use a pair of pliers to get it in there, to get it tight, I should say. Once you loosen it, it should be alright. If you got big fingers, you might have some issues getting it in and out. So there's what that little guy looks like. A couple holes punched in there. It's got inside threads right there, which threads in to your center airflow hole here. You can see there's threads down there. If you are using it in direct lung mode, you want to leave that piece out, obviously, and use it just like this so you can get more airflow. It's not designed for direct lunging, but it can definitely be used for direct lunging. If you had it open on the biggest airflow setting without the reducer, you're going to get a nice restrictive lung hit. I find with the reducer in there, no matter what hole you're on, it's mouth to lung. Really loose mouth to lung, but it's mouth to lung nonetheless, especially over here in that one hole. I like it here at the smallest hole, or that second to smallest hole. You can even close it off a little more. You can go past it a little bit and close it too. But I find it great here around the one or the smallest or the second smallest setting. I even could mouth to lung it here in the biggest setting. So it's not a cigarette draw per se. It's not tight like that or anything like that. You know, it's like a Kayfun 4, not Kayfun 5s. The Kayfun 4 mouth to lung tank comparable draw. I personally really like the draw right there. So yeah, that's that. And here's your build deck. It's very simple. We've seen this design before, kind of hard to see, but you got your 2 screws and you got these kind of lips. Just insert your lead right past that post. You don't even have to bend it or anything, and then just screw your wire down. It will trap. I'll show you here in a second because I'm going to put a build in there. But yeah, and then you got these cutouts here, which are where your wick is going to go down this side, and one wick's going to go down this side. And I let my wick touch the bottom here. I'll show you here in a second what I do. Alright, so I inserted my same coils in there because I just got to clean this coil, but it's only a day old. So I'm going to reinsert that. Very easy. Wire gets trapped right into these terminals with these lips here. You just stick it through and screw down, and it grabs your wire. You don't have to wrap it around the screw or anything. Very simple. I'm really enjoying this build deck. Alright, she's tight. I got my reducer back in also, and I'm just going to put my tool in there and just going to straighten her up a bit. Center it right over the airflow hole. Slap it right on a mod, and we're just going to test fire it. Sure enough, it's glowing nicely. Just going to strum real quick. Pull my cotton through. I like my cotton to be nice and tight in my coil. Okay. So now basically what I want to do is I want the cotton just resting right on the bottom here. You could cut it shorter if you want, but in my experience that's how I found it works best. So I'm going to trim my leads here because they're definitely too long on one side. Something like that. And basically just want to take it and make sure it's not too fat, because if it's too fat it won't fit in that little cutout there and you won't be able to thread on your cap. So that's perfect on that side. This side, let's take a look. Actually it might be perfect too. A little long, so let's give it a quick trim. And you see what I mean by that cutout right there? You want your cotton to sit in there. You don't want to have to pack it too tight. Just make sure it sits in there, which mine is. And you can see it's just resting or barely touching that floor there of that. And that is it. You're going to grab some juice and just get everything nice and saturated. Grab my tool here and make sure that's nice and in there and out of the way of the threads. And what you want to do with your cotton on the bottom is you want to fluff these ends out. You want this to be nice and fluffy. fluffier it is, the better it's gonna wick. So you want to make sure that's nice and fluffed. Get a quick test fire. Sure enough, we have vapor. And now we'll just assemble this. First we're gonna need our glass. Our glass will just go on right there. You could hold that in place. Then you take your chimney section here. And that's just gonna line up with those threads. You wanna go slowly, you don't wanna strip anything. There you go. It's a little squeaky when it gets started. Threads aren't the best, but you know, they work just fine. And we're gonna fill it up. It does take a little for that juice to get past that side well there, because there's not a whole lot of space on the side of that chimney section there. And once you do got it all filled up, you just take your top cap and that threads right on. And pop our drip tip in, and that's it. Built, wicked, ready to vape. Let's go up top and talk about it a little bit more. So, how have I been getting along with this GTA Digiflavor Siren tank here? Just fantastically. I saw Phil Bizarro do a review on this maybe a month ago or so. I've been wanting it ever since. I was just skeptical. I was looking online to find it and stuff like that. And I was looking at the reviews, and some reviews said it didn't come with the little threaded airflow diffuser piece, basically, that shuts down the airflow from the center. So I was skeptical of ordering one, because if it didn't have that, you won't have mouth of long draw. You need that adapter piece in there to have that nice tighter airflow that you're looking for. So I ended up emailing a couple companies, told me no, it doesn't include that piece. So I don't know if there was two versions of this out there, one that does have the airflow reducer and one that doesn't. I ended up contacting eSiggity, and eSiggity got back to me right away, great customer service, and said, yeah, it did include the airflow diffuser piece, so I went ahead and placed an order with them. And sure enough, it did include it, and it's just fantastic. That build that I put in here is a 1.06 ohm, 14.5 watts. It's just working like a dream. And I have it on the smallest airflow setting on here, using a 7030 VGPG juice. As far as how much I've liked it so much that if you know me, I've been vaping on the Kayfun V4, not the V5, the older one, the V4, for probably about 2 to 3 years now, steadily. Used it every day. I love it. It's my favorite mouth-to-lung tank, rebuildable mouth-to-lung tank out there. This has actually kind of replaced that tank. That tank is actually now sitting on my shelf, not being used. And that's very rare, because I love that tank. So yeah, this is been a Kayfun killer for me, at least. I really do enjoy the flavor that comes out of it. I like the looks of it, to be honest with you. And the build deck and the wicking and all that, it's super, super simple. This is very easy. Great tank to get into rebuilding in, especially if you're a mouth-to-lung vapor. Some quick pros, some quick cons. Pros on here, the flavor is really, really good. I'd compare it to the Kayfun V4 if you know what the flavor was like on that airflow. You're going to have more options than the Kayfun V4. If you want more airflow, you're going to get more airflow with this one. Still, like I said, mouth to lung, if you take out that reducer piece, you're going to get a restricted direct lung hit wide open, which some people are going to like. I could open up the airflow all the way right now on the biggest setting, still with that reducer piece in here. A really loose mouth-to-lung draw, but still a mouth-to-lung draw. But I like it kind of around that smallest to second smallest. I have it on second smallest now. Good amount of vapor for a mouth-to-lung tank. Enough vapor for me, at least. The drip tip on here, very, very comfortable. I love that Delrin insert they got on there. And it does come with a spare if you want a smaller, shorter, smaller diameter drip tip. It does come with that, and you can put any drip tip you really want on there. Adjustable airflow, that's another pro. The airflow reducer piece, that's a pro. Pyrex glass, another pro. 4 mil capacity, I think that's pretty good capacity for a tank like this. Really good capacity in my opinion. Gold plated 510, you know. Build deck, the build deck is fantastic. Super easy to build. Wicking this, super easy. And price point, $30, about 25 to 30 bucks you can get it for. Really good price. Overall, there's a lot of good pros on it. So a couple cons. One con is the drip tips. You kind of hear it. It wobbles in there. It's not perfectly, you know, it could be a little tighter. A little floss around the O-rings would fix that, but it needs to be mentioned. Threads on it, a little squeaky at first. Nothing huge, like I said. And the airflow ring itself, it's really loose. You barely need any force to turn those. They do click into place, but they can easily be taken off their setting. Yeah, that's really all the cons I got for this. Otherwise, guys, this is just a stellar mouth-along tank. If you're looking for a really good mouth-along tank, this is it. Now, it's not going to give you cigarette-type tightness as far as airflow goes. It's, like I said, Kayfun V4 style with a little bit more airflow if you choose to have it. So it's not super tight. The airflow is tight enough for the way I vape, at least. I don't like it sucking out of a straw airflow like my jet. That was sucking out of a straw airflow, super tight. On this, it's got that looseness, nice consistency, smooth. It's not loud. It doesn't make the jet engine sounds that some atomizers do. And as far as filling, and another pro actually, I forgot filling it. Top fill, super simple. I have not gotten any flooding, gurgling, or spitback with this tank. It's just been really a great performer. So much so that I'm actually going to order the 25mm version because I think it's going to look better on this VT75 mod that I have. And I just want a second one because it's just that damn good. It really is. So if you've been looking for a good rebuildable mouth-along tank, Digiflavor Siren definitely comes highly recommended from me. I hope you guys found some information helpful. As always, I'll put a subscription link down here in the corner. As always, thank you all for watching. Live well and vape on.